Have you ever tried to feel grateful, only to end up feeling guilty instead? Maybe you've told yourself, I should be grateful, other people have it worse. Or perhaps you've thought, how can I be grateful when others have so much more? Both directions of comparison lead us away from the heart of what gratitude really is. They turn a practice of connection into a measurement of worth. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. Many of us learned that gratitude is supposed to fix our perspective, to make us feel better, to remind us how lucky we are. But when gratitude becomes a rule or a requirement, it stops being helpful. When we use gratitude to silence our pain or to compare our lives to someone else's, it becomes a kind of quiet pressure. It tells us we are either too fortunate to be sad or too lacking to be content. Neither of those stories are true. Real gratitude does not ask you to look away from what hurts. It does not require you to pretend that everything is fine. And it certainly does not depend on how your life compares to anyone else's. Gratitude in the most honest form is the willingness to notice what sustains you, even when life feels hard. It is the simple awareness that something, somewhere, is still holding you. You can be grateful and grieving. You can be grateful and longing. You can be grateful and still unsure of what comes next. Gratitude and pain can coexist in the same breath. They are not opposites. So often we think gratitude must cancel our discomfort. But real gratitude is far more human than that. It allows you to say, this hurts, and I can still see what is beautiful. Think of how much energy goes into comparison. We measure our joy against someone else's highlight reel, or our struggles against someone else's suffering. We either feel guilty for having more or ashamed for having less. In both cases, we lose our presence. Comparison narrows the lens through which we see our own lives. Gratitude widens it again. You might think of gratitude as being like a cracked cup. It doesn't erase the fractures or hide the imperfections. The cracks remain, visible and real. But when light passes through them, it creates a pattern you wouldn't see otherwise. Your life works the same way. Gratitude doesn't fill the cracks or make them disappear. It lets the light of awareness move through them. It turns the evidence of being human into a reflection of wholeness. Sometimes we think gratitude means sealing ourselves up, becoming unbreakable. But real gratitude is softer. It lets the light in and through. When life feels heavy, your body may tighten and your breath may shorten. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of the need for care. Your body is trying to protect you. In those moments, you can still say thank you to the breath that continues, to the heartbeat that stays steady, to the ground that holds you. You do not need to feel grateful for everything. You only need to notice the one thing that is still holding you, even when everything else feels uncertain. You might pause and say quietly, I am grateful for this breath that keeps moving through me. Or I am grateful for the space to feel what is true. Do you feel the difference? Gratitude stops being a checklist and becomes a soft awareness. It stops being something you perform and becomes something you live. There will be days when gratitude feels impossible, when your heart is heavy or the world feels unfair. On those days, you can let gratitude be small. You can let it be the quiet knowing that you are still here, still breathing, still part of something larger. I sometimes think of gratitude as a winter garden. On the surface, everything looks bare and still, but beneath the frozen soil, life is preparing for its return. Even when the flowers are gone and the air is sharp, the roots are still alive. The earth is still breathing. The garden has not stopped being a garden just because it is resting. Your life is the same. There are seasons when gratitude blooms brightly and seasons when it hides beneath the surface. But even when you cannot see it, it is still there, waiting for the right warmth to rise again. Gratitude is not the bloom, it is the soil that holds the roots. When you allow gratitude and pain to share the same space, something begins to shift. You stop fighting reality. You stop making peace conditional. Gratitude gives your grief a place to rest. Even in sorrow, gratitude reminds you that life continues to move through you. It offers a small pulse of belonging when everything else feels uncertain. Take a slow breath with me now. Let your shoulders soften and your jaw relax. Notice one small thing that is still holding you, whether it is the light in the room, the air moving around you, or the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. You do not need to wait for your pain to pass before you feel grateful. You can begin here as you are. Gratitude is not a denial of difficulty. It is a recognition of life continuing. It is the quiet strength of presence, the willingness to stay open even when things are hard. It is not about having more or less than anyone else. It is about remembering that what you have right now is enough to begin from. So before you move on with your day, pause for one more breath. Feel the air enter your body. Feel the ground supporting you, and whisper softly, "Thank you for this moment." That is gratitude when life hurts. That is gratitude that heals. I leave you with much love and gratitude.